Welcome back to the Guffawed podcast.
Guffawed podcast.
I'm your host, Shelly. This is my best friend,
Jasmyn.
I
looked at the light instead of the camera. I went, Jasmyn.
And we're back reading Reddit stories. It's 7:44 at night. I'm manic.
I'm not. I'm coming home from work.
Yep, Jasmyn just came home from work. You worked till 6 p.m.
7:05 on the dot. I only know that because that's when I clocked out.
We can talk about it. Well, we're reading Reddit stories, as y'all know. I hope you guys are following me. That's how tonight's going to go because I'm manic. So, I hope you guys are following me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and Spotify. Because I got a lot of episodes coming out every Monday.
She's kind of crushing it or whatever.
And I'm not making any money about it, so.
But it's a passion.
It's a passion project, definitely.
That's all that matters.
Ugh. You ready to read some of these?
How about I read some to you?
Sure. I haven't read them, so. r/am I the asshole?
Boom. Okay. Am I the butthole for ending my engagement because of his demands about our prenup? Dun, dun, dun. I want you to get that button.
Anyway. I haven't read it yet.
Dun, dun, dun. I, female 37, recently got a lump sum for a career project that turned into a whole company. I got into an agreement with a company that has been reselling my services via out-licensing and long-term corporate JVs. When I signed the paperwork, it's JVs.
Okay.
Duh. When I signed the paperwork, I felt like I had the opportunity to build a financial future, but my relationship wouldn't be affected. This has not been the case, and I'm very put off to the point of breaking our engagement. Do it. Sorry, this is your opinion. Don't listen to me. Do it. We've been together for 4 years. I met him on the last leg of my struggle to get what has become my working life's motivation. This project has been all-consuming, and aside from that, I only had time for my family. I have very good friends, but everyone is busy. I didn't date or go out. When Sean, male 43, came along, she named him. Pop off, Sean. I was swept off my feet, because I wasn't expecting to find someone I liked so much. Sorry. We shared the same sense of humor, and I became really attracted to him, both emotionally and physically. Sean is divorced, he has average office assistant skills, and works for a small government agency. Our salary gap was not a huge deal, as I invested a lot on my projects, so whatever money I kept for myself went to my priorities that are non-negotiable. I take care of my family and pay bills. He did have hobbies that he spent time on, but when I met him, he was in between jobs and had to wait 4 months till he became active at his new job at the agency. The same agency. Dun, dun, dun. We were both thin on money. I was very happy to have a guy who didn't pressure me to wear certain styles. I'm more of a flats and comfy clothes lady. When my ex before him demanded that I look trendy and said things that nullified my self-esteem.
Well, that's a good thing he's your ex. Preach.
I knew he was on food stamps, very briefly, and chalked it up to a bad situation that was temporary. There was huge mutual acceptance. We tried to start a small consulting company, but it didn't work out. I noticed that he wasn't ready to co-manage, and after a long conversation, we mutually decided to call it off. We'd been talking about marriage for a while, and when he proposed, the subject of a prenup was no surprise, as we had already agreed on having one. Even if I had nothing, I see it as a way to protect ourselves and each other from potential situations. I'm in a nice market that deals with loss prevention, and I've seen people getting into lawsuits. We drafted a plan, but had some tense moments. He closed off at the lawyer's office and created a tense environment during our second meeting. Nothing that we had agreed on was getting followed through, and he kept asking for things and raising the bar.
Okay.
He got his own lawyer, which would have been okay. except that he never told me and his attorney showed up and I didn't even know he hired one. We had to pause the prenup after he almost bit my head off outside of my lawyer's office when I refused to give him his daughter's shares of my existing company. That's a no-go for me, and I'd rather stay unmarried.
Amen.
Pop off. I built that company. Ooh, where did you go? I built that company to leave something to my children. I'm the only parent looking out for them, as my ex has been kind of a deadbeat. Sean wasn't even in the picture when I started it. I will not create a trust fund for his child either, like he asked. None of this requests had been previously discussed, but came up once his lawyer showed up. I did agree to help her financially, give her an allowance, and help pay for a car. I also agreed to pay full health insurance and contribute to her college housing, plus contribute to her education. She has a successful mom, so my logic is that she already has someone willing to give her a good start in life since Sean isn't financially stable.
Why is she involved in this when she has two parents?
That's what I'm saying. And mom's apparently successful, and Sean can't get off his ass.
Huh.
But, sorry. Either way, stupid. His daughter's an adult while my kids are in grade school, and I need to make sure they're taken care of while she's already at an age where she can get a job. I offered to contribute to a fund for her first home, but it seems like nothing I offered is good enough. I love his kid, but I didn't raise her, and she will never see me as her mom, and I respect that. Her mom's family owns a business, and her mom owns her home in a very good area. It's not like she depends on me to have a good life. I want it to be fair since her mom, Sean, and I could contribute. So Sean and I had an argument because he sent me a breakdown of how much I'm supposed to make off my business over the next few years. I lost my temper because it felt like a gotcha situation.
What?
You want to try to throw her success in her face?
Huh?
Go ahead. That's cute. Is it going to hurt your tum-tum? Maybe he needs a spray. He needs a spray and a ginger ale. Apparently, because he can't handle a successful woman. Stupid.
A lot of men I know can't handle successful women.
Preach! Yeah!
Like, in for what? Like, in for what?
If anything, you should be proud.
You should be
that's
proud.
That's a hot little woman right
and
there. And
it's really
successful.
hot. It's really hot when a woman can do what she needs to do.
Preach. Preach!
I hate men.
Agreed.
Except for mine.
Also agreed. Yeah. Mine's decent. I confronted him about my own kids and asked what he would contribute to them. He went silent. Shocking! Oh! Oh! Ugh. Sorry. Jeez. So I said I wanted their names on the deed to a piece of land that he owns, but hasn't been able to develop because he doesn't have the funds. He was surprised and accused me of trying to dilute his inheritance to his daughter and being generally unfair since she has less than what my kids will end up having.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
That's the face I would have made. I just wanted him to see my point, but I made things worse, as you should have. We used to be able to talk outside of the prenup, but now, if I don't get his sarcasm, it's his dry behavior that's driving me crazy. He said he's surprised at my greed and accused me of othering his child.
Othering?
Othering. Of othering. I'm trying to figure out if I came across as a bad stepmother. You didn't, Penelope. You didn't. Also, I'm not ruling out helping all our kids start their own businesses if they want to, but I can't guarantee its success since we're not there yet. Canceling the engagement sounded like the most sensible decision, and I'm astonished this is actually happening. I don't know how to navigate. His last messages have been very hurtful, and he says I'm showing my true colors and told me, thank you for my dishonesty and how I truly feel about his daughter. My best friend is pissed and threatens to put him on blast if he keeps this up. I'm confused since I didn't expect our relationship to end like this. Am I the ball?
No. Break up with him! As fast as you can, run away.
Ready? Make a rap to it. And go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
She's female 38. And she fucking ate.
Hey!
Okay, you can't A me.
I'm sorry.
When I'm cooking.
Sorry. Cook again!
When I'm cooking in the kitchen, everyone needs a mitten. Because it gets really hot. And she's 38, thought. Well, she's not a thought.
She's not.
She's a good woman.
She had a lot of good thoughts.
I will say that I blacked out during most of that, but I will say I will say that she is a strong woman because she understands like half the things that he's saying is like fucking bogus.
Agreed. Agreed.
That's all I have to say. This girl,
Preach.
don't even marry him. Did she say they're married or they're getting a divorce?
Update. I broke up with him since the whole deal felt like a bitter divorce rather than a step towards married life.
Amen.
Where's the applause? As she should.
Can I read the comments?
As she should. Go, Penelope.
All right.
Go.
I'm not Oh.
Pop off, Penelope!
All right. Top comment is not the asshole. First off, I'm sorry you're having to experience this, at least from an emotional standpoint. It can't be easy, but to be honest, your stance towards the prenuptial sounded reasonable and, if anything, overly generous to this kid.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
Agreed.
Let's go back to the kids. You have 2 young kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the daughter of the dad, who is now your stepdaughter,
Is an actual adult.
she's an actual adult and expecting money from you when her mother is successful and also in the picture.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, mind you, her mom owns a business. Her mom owns land and a home. Her dad owns land. And you're gonna try
Girl.
to tell me that it wasn't fair?
Girl.
When her children's father's not in the picture,
Yeah.
they have one parent. And he has one daughter with multiple kids.
Ooh.
Or not multiple kids. He has one daughter, multiple parents, and she's a single mother, multiple kids.
Yeah. And you're gonna get fucking, oh no, I don't know what to do with myself when she's gonna ask about what you're gonna do for her kids.
I don't understand how you can treat us like this.
OP replies,
Get a job, Sean.
He was or seemed very okay with our initial drafted agreement, which was done between us. We basically wanted someone to notarize it. I didn't have a problem with him working with his own lawyer, as that's very normal. What I didn't like was that he never mentioned bringing one or hiring one, not even hours earlier, and showed up with his attorney, who didn't even help create a peaceful environment. I hate this guy. Fuck you, Sean.
Get a job, Sean.
Fuck you, Sean.
What she said. Unless you're a nice Sean. That specific Sean.
You want to read another one?
Sure!
I like listening to you read.
Ahem. I feel stuck in my progression from college to the real world.
I bet she's like 21, just graduated, doesn't know what she's going to do with herself. Is she?
I need to figure out where to start. I could start with some statistics for those who want it. I'm currently 21 years old, expecting to graduate December 2024 with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with a probable option of a 2.9 to 3.3 GPA, depending on how I perform for my final semester, which in itself is not going great. Looking back, I spent a lot of time not doing things, even though I was coding, watching YouTube videos, doing projects, learning new stuff, and so on. However, I'm not getting anything out of it. This goes in hand with my lifestyle issues, where I did not foresee myself going anywhere with my degree, even in something like a help desk, which is bare minimum, at best. I see myself realistically living with my parents for the next 2 to 3 years, working at the same part-time job as a security officer. However, I don't know if the environment is healthy, considering my issues with my respective parents and my sister wanting to depend on me and not them. It's a paramount that I find a full-time role. Still, I feel down and feel a loss of imposter syndrome whenever I try to do anything, especially related to the degree subject. I feel like with my background, I could realistically transform back to being in trade school or aim for a master's degree while continuing to live with my parents under the guise that I am studying. However, I fear I may not be able to get the response I want and may be kicked out if I don't find a spot to move toward. Unfortunately, I am sort of a minority in a small town-ish region, so I am conflicted about where I can proceed from here on out. You're talking to the queen of that. Just saying. I am scared for both my sister and my future. If anybody here is willing to assist me, please do so. Shortly after this, I plan to post on and see what responses I get from my resume output, modify anything if needed, and see what roles I can achieve from it. I also plan on doing every Friday to apply to 5 to 15 roles.
Whoa.
Slow down.
5 to 15.
Slow down. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Good for you. Slow down. Suppose I don't achieve at least an interview. In that case, I'll also alternatively apply to the MSBA, Master of Science in Business Analytics, program here at my university and try to appease my parents into living with them a lot longer. Don't appease your parents. Do what you want. Where did it go? While going through the program and trying to review any technical knowledge on top of it, while doing projects and trying to find some open source projects to work on. If that doesn't work, I'm still determining what else to do except make a last ditch attempt to find some warehouse gigs to do on the weeks or ask my supervisor to allocate me some hours while I find another part-time job. My financial goal is to make at least $50,000 from my planning on starting an anonymous streaming career in art side business doing 3D modeling or 2D drawing animation, a part-time job on the weekend, and a full-time job on the weekday. If I can at least achieve 2 of these things, I'm more than happy to continue, but I only have one now and want to get more into it. What can I do from here on out?
This girl is freaking the frick out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, I remember those days though in college and you're about to graduate and you have no idea what's going to happen to you.
Yes.
She's really thinking this through though.
The issue is,
5 to 15 jobs is a lot every Friday. You
and
have to get a hit somewhere.
the problem is, when you come up with that many backup plans, but then you admit that you might just do some of them to appease someone else,
You shouldn't do that.
that's why you're freaking out. Right there. First of all, you come up with that many scenarios because you think you're gonna fail.
Yes.
That is the only reason you come up with that many backup plans.
Mhm.
But then on top of that, you also are trying to plan your life to appease someone else instead
Well,
of following
okay, so I have kind
your
of
dream.
so I kind of resonate with this, right? Cuz when I was 21, I graduated college, got married, moved in with my husband's family, and at some point you have to appease the family.
Mm.
It's not it's not something that you have to do, but it's something that makes you feel better.
Hmm.
Like the reason why I got a job and didn't just sit around until I got pregnant was because I wanted to be in the career that I wanted to be. But it
Yes.
also took me like 60 applications until I got to that job and then I had to leave because I got pregnant. But but also being a minority is really hard in a small town because all they see is the minority. They don't see you as the person. So it might be hard for her. Hopefully, I mean, legally they can't discriminate against her.
No.
But when you
But
roll
they
up
will,
to a Starbucks and they see that you're a different color, they might approach it differently if the small town that you're in does do that sort of thing.
yes. And it
Ooh.
sucks. It's
It
very,
does.
very rough. Obviously, my best friend here is a minority,
Obviously.
which, for me personally, I mean, I've always known it. I've always seen it. I've always recognized it. But to me, it's a admiration.
Mhm.
We're different. You had a very, very cool life before moving to Canton when I met you.
Was it
So
that cool?
it was cool. It was cool.
Not
It was
really.
cool. Compared to living in Canton your entire life. But no, I've always viewed it as we're different people, so I'm going to learn how I can use, and I hate that it's a thing, but it is a thing.
Mhm.
I hate that I have white privilege, but I'm going to use mine to make sure anyone I come in contact with is not shut out of an opportunity based on being a member of any type of minority.
Yeah.
So I've
Different
always
colors,
tried to
if they're
watch that for
gay.
you, tried to watch it for my siblings, everybody. I hate that that's a
She's
thing.
got a lot of siblings.
So I'm really hoping that this girl has someone that's doing that for her.
It sounds like her parent. I mean, we only know her point of view, but it
Yes.
sounds like that she's pretty alone in this. She's like
Yes.
me. My parents didn't help me at all trying to navigate something like this. I had Zach. Zach helped me navigate everything.
Yeah.
But she doesn't seem like she has any
Mm-mm.
help.
She has her sister, but it says she wants to depend on her and not her parents.
I mean, I agree.
So,
It's hard not in this day and
yes.
age though. It's hard to be on your own. 55K is kind of not enough.
No.
She said she wanted 50K, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's kind of not enough when you're alone. And I mean, as long if you budget it well, yeah. But
Yeah.
who wants to live pennies to pennies, paycheck to paycheck?
It just makes me sad. I think this girl, if possible, I think she just because it says, what can I do from here on out? I say, focus on your actual goal. Find your goal first.
You need to find a goal. Yeah.
That's the one.
Is your goal
Find
to get
it.
a job, and a job of what? Like, you have a bachelor's in what? What was it?
1 second. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science.
In computer. What is she going on about?
Yeah.
Computer science is always hiring.
This queen could do such incredible things and earn a lot more than that.
But computer science is always hiring.
Everywhere. They're
She's
needed.
Like, oh, I can get a help desk job. Then girl, pick up your stuff and move.
Leave the small town.
Leave.
Go find opportunities. It's
and then come back
okay to not remain in a small town.
Yes.
It's okay to not remain exactly where your parents are.
Are you preaching to yourself?
No. Because I'll cry about it. No, I'm not. I'm a strong, independent woman.
You are a strong woman.
But no, it just makes me sad. Because you got to find a goal. And then if you don't find your own goal and you're doing a goal for someone else, you're not going to be happy.
No.
And then you will feel like you're failing.
You have
and
to
then
find
you
your
will
goal.
Keep having these problems.
Make sure everybody around you is into it. And if they're not,
Yes.
F them.
Preach.
F them.
Preach.
Just get rid of them. Like, choose what you want to do in computer science, what you specifically
Yes.
want to do. Apply for specifically those jobs. Trickle in a little help desk jobs here and there.
Yes.
But, like, specifically those jobs that you want to do, and then you can cry about it months after you've been applying and still haven't gotten hits.
You get to cry about it when you pushed yourself.
Yes.
That's when you get to cry.
And then
but
also,
if you're only going for these small,
for
safe jobs, and you're not going for your goal, well, you're going to be unhappy regardless. But if you're pushing for your new goals, getting good jobs, boom.
Yep.
And guess what? If you don't get it the first time, you don't get it the 75th time,
you keep trying.
You might get it on the 76th time.
You just keep trying.
It doesn't mean you failed if you didn't get it the first time.
And you just study, girl.
I feel like you need to make a rap every time we finish one of these.
I'm really bad at rapping.
But it's funny.
I know.
And a 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm manic. I'm panicking. And guess what? I'm reneging, and I really... You're right.
I'm manic. I'm panicking. I'm...
reneging. I like thrifting, and it's nifty. And I like to go and gift them the gift thee.
Gift thee to you, concern.
I will say that OP is freaking out in the comments. She says, right now I need to find a realistic approach since I already have a part-time job. She already has a part-time job.
I thought there was a bug by me, bro. I was like, ah! That's the most scared I've ever been in my life.
No, she already got a part-time job. She's over here crying. Girl.
Stop crying.
But I do not want to live with my parents any longer.
So don't.
Then say June 2025. You have so much time.
Make that your goal, queen.
I may try to get them to appease me if I approach with a master's degree, but for now I plan on once graduating to continue job applying. If nothing, after 6 months to go back for my master's in an unrelated field and apply for assistantship or any other roles.
Don't go for an unrelated field unless it's actually something you want to do. Do not waste your money on a college career that you don't actually want.
Amen.
Regardless of who you're doing it for.
Yep. There's curtains, and she's certain that she's going to go and leave them.
Hey! Sorry, I messed up your flow.
Every time you go A, I'm like...
I know, I just got excited.
It's every time, every time that we sing and you harmonize and you're like, hey! I'm like, I'm never doing that harmony again. You can
Oh.
never tell me. It's not your fault. It's just out the head. The idea's in the head, and then it goes
She
out.
said, and I'm a rapper, can't stop her. And I'm like, yeah. And she said, I can't rap anymore.
I can't rap, actually.
I've never have a voice.
I was never able to rap beforehand. Why are we acting like I could?
Hamilton. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
X-ray knows what to do in a trench canoe. Okay.
This
This comes from our relationship advice. My ex, 36 male, told me, 30 female, no man on the planet wants to communicate about the arguments they have with their partners. Is this true?
No.
My ex, 36 male, told me, 30 female, no man on the planet wants to communicate about the arguments they have with their partners. As the title says, my ex-boyfriend who I broke up with due to a complete lack of miscommunication and conflict resolving, has told me that there is not any man on the planet who would want to be able to fill this need for me. He claims that no man in this world wants to resolve conflict via communication, as he thinks that men generally just don't want to argue, and if arguments happen, it is always the woman creating it, and it is then her problem, not his. He is of the mentality that any issue I have is my own problem.
Is this Sean?
Sean, what the fuck?
Sean,
and if I try to communicate with him about it, I'm arguing, and he then refuses to address the issues.
So he's a child.
I shouldn't have any issue in the first place. He thinks I get offended too easily and uses that as a reason to refuse the resolve conflict. So I'm trying to gather some data because 1, I don't believe this claim, but 2, I'm terrified he's right.
He's not.
Man of Reddit. I'm not a man of Reddit.
I am a man.
If your partner comes to you with an issue, let's say you've said something she found offensive, would you then refuse communication about it because it is her own problem that she is offended, or would you take a different approach? If different approach, then how would you address conflict in a relationship? Now, I am no man, but I will tell you right now, I talk my heart out to my husband, and he listens, and he communicates, and it's effective.
I am a man. Just kidding. I could be a man. If I wanted to be. But I'm not. But I'm married to one.
You are married to a man.
I am married to a man. And he, although he does not enjoy talking about his feelings as much, which I feel like that's a
normal
That's
thing
a very
for
common
men.
thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not even just guys.
That's true. But like, specifically, I know some men,
yes.
like, they're pretty shut down.
Yes.
Which some women are too.
Yes. But I will say, if I bring up something that I'm upset about, or that he offended me in somehow, or
he offends you?
Girl. So
stupid.
But, sorry. I had to do the gun. But he will listen regardless, even if he doesn't want to. He listens.
Yeah.
It's very effective. We solve any disagreement. You can have a disagreement without having an argument.
Agreed.
But it's going to turn into an argument if no one's willing to actually communicate about it.
Listen, if I come to you with a problem, you're going to be like, I'm so sorry that I created this problem. Let's resolve it.
Yes.
That's the only right answer here.
Yes.
If I come up to you with a problem and you go, actually, you're the problem, then there's going to be... Fuck you, Sean. Okay, top comment. LOL, absolutely not. My fiance is an excellent communicator, and I don't need to fight him to talk to me about issues we're having. We face them together as a team. It's not him versus me, it's us versus the issue.
Preach.
That was
what
a good
it sounds
one.
like is Sean reacts to things
like
as if he's a toddler.
I like how we're still talking about Sean.
It's definitely Sean. I know this is the same person. I know it is. And Sean reacts to things as if he's a toddler. So he was either taught to do that, or he genuinely just absolutely despises resolving conflicts, but enjoys conflict.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because if you're that
it.
excited about any of that, you might as well be in a relationship with conflict. Leave the girl out of it. Goodness gracious.
Get rid of him.
Oh, poor
That's
Sarah.
all I have to say. Sarah,
leave Sean.
She did. She said that he was his ex. Or he was her ex.
As he should be. He shouldn't even get the X title. What's better than X? He's her why. He's her why. As in, why did it ever happen in the first place?
I love that.
Just saying.
Say it for the people in the back.
He's her why.
Alright, you ready for the next one? This is the last story.
I'm ready.
What time is it? How long have we been recording for?
8:16, Queen.
Oh my god, it's so late. Guys, I'm so manic.
I'm not.
Am I still manic?
Yup.
I love that for me.
It's cute.
Alright, this is from r/2 hot takes. I took a DNA test and possibly discovered
Took a
an
DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that.
In an affair.
Oh! She's in an affair?
You didn't read me. You didn't listen to what I read.
I just heard Lizzo. She just came out of me.
I took a DNA test and possibly discovered an affair. I, 25 female, have lived most of my life wondering about who my father is and why he wasn't here. I've asked my mother in the past, and she has told me so many different things. I don't know what is true or if any of it is. My favorites are, you're special pumpkin, you don't have a dad and don't need one.
Michelle!
Told this to me when I was 5 or 6, as soon as I was in school. I found out that was a bold-faced lie, of course. There's the classic, he doesn't want to be involved, or I never told him. And lastly, it could be two options based on looks. It could be John, I worked with him, and he left for the Marines after they were together, and she had no contacts for him. While the other option is Brad. Oh no. He's a convicted child essayer and is in prison.
So Michelle was a little
kissing some boys.
She was a little.
Both are lies. My grandma also worked. Wait, both are lies. My grandma also worked at the same place as my mom, and she said there was no John that worked there and no one that she knew of that left for the Marines. That left Brad. I lived in a county that had open court records, and of course the sex offender list is open.
Brad.
Hold on. I'm going to reread that because I don't think I can say the word sex. I don't know. That left Brad. I lived in a county that had open court records, and of course the SA offender list is open. I searched for every name on that list in my county and the surrounding area, and there was no Brad, Bradley, Brandon, etc. that would fit time-wise of conception and whatnot. Man,
so
my mother
also just a liar.
She's just not telling the truth. My mother also got extremely angry if I ever asked about my father, saying I don't need to know and it shouldn't matter. So I dropped it when I was 15. Well, at least mentioning it.
Pick it back up.
Fast forward to January 2023, my partner was gifted a DNA test for Christmas, and she gave it to me because she knew how much it hurt not to know. It's such a hard feeling to explain, not knowing a parent. Anyway, I cried so much staring at the box, so many feelings and anticipation, it was so overwhelming. I went through with it, spit in the tube, and sent it in the mail. 6 weeks later, I got the results. My heart was pounding when I got the email. I opened my results first. It was my genetic makeup and what cultures my ancestors were from. No real surprises there. I scrolled down and it was my DNA matches. I'm scared. My top relation is my half-brother, and he is 9 years older than me. I didn't know what to feel, and I was so confused and had so many unexpected questions and feelings. I told my partner my brother's name, and with her ADHD hyperfixation powers, she found him on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Of course, there were very few options, but there was no doubt he is my brother. We have very similar facial features, primarily in our eyes and nose. Then I noticed he has a cleft chin like I do, and no one on my mom's side has that. With this, I put on my detective hat, and I have two sisters as well. One is 7 years older than me, and the other a year younger. We all look like two, same nose and eyes. I found my father, again very similar features, and his wife from there, and her page was public. As you can imagine, there was plenty of information. I found that she has been married to my father for 28 years. They also had to have been together prior to that because of the age of my older siblings, and well, I'm 25. Basically, the math ain't mathin', and he most likely cheated on his wife with me. To add to the drama, my mom may have been living with him because she moved out of my grandparents' house when she was 18 to live with some guy. I mainly know this from my grandma because to this day she's still pissed about it. However, my grandma did say that my mom insisted that she was just living there and there was no romantic or sexual relationship between the two of them.
That's what they all say.
So this dude could have been my father, which makes me think he was possibly separated from his wife or that he is just really just some random guy that's irrelevant to my existence. My problem is I can't decide if I should reach out or not because I could possibly be ruining a 28 plus year relationship and maybe his relationship with his kids. Also, if I should reach out to my half brother, who is the one I matched with, or the guy that I'm pretty sure is my father, as it's listed on brother's Facebook and we look alike. So, should I reach out and to who? Don't reach out. Leave it.
I'm guffawed.
You, you should be guffawed. Okay, this is my personal opinion.
I'm
Usually,
guffawed.
when I'm listening to stories like this on other people's podcasts, I usually say, tell the wife, tell the wife. I don't think that you should tell the wife. Is that controversial? Hot take.
Could be. Could be.
Hot take. And this is why. This is
Hot
my
take
reasoning.
pancake.
My reasoning that you should not tell the wife is because you're blowing up 3 other kids' lives. And then you're also blowing up the wife's life. So it's 4-1.
You know what's sad? She could potentially blow up the dad's life because, first of all, one, what if that's not her dad?
Well, here's also
And
the
then she
thing.
planted that seed.
Yeah, so I was thinking that, but also, what if they mutually agreed, like, that he could be a sperm donor?
Yeah.
But then why is the mom so shady about that?
The mom did something wrong.
Something's
Guaranteed.
something's fishy.
Michelle messed up.
Okay, so what do you think?
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah, get closer to the mic. I want to hear it all.
Hear me out. Michelle.
The mom?
100%. Yes, the mom, sorry. 100% knows who the dad is. 100%.
You don't
And you
just
know what?
F around and not find out. You know
Girl,
what I'm saying?
nah, she found out. She knew. This is not a Mamma Mia situation. She knows. Michelle.
It's not Brad.
Greedy.
It's not John.
That's my thing. Why are you lying so much? Why are you lying? If there was an issue and the dad was not a good person, guess what? You say,
The dad's
I'm
not a
sorry,
good person.
your dad's not a good person. I did this to protect you.
Yep.
Speaking from lots of experience with lots of people in my life, that's a whole lot freaking better than the alternative sometimes.
Of not knowing who your dad is. Okay, so also I have an issue, and I don't have any personal experience, so you're going to have to tell me.
Yep.
But I believe that if the child, one, doesn't know who the dad is growing up, and the mom is refusing to find out, and then you find out, I think you should just eventually let it go. But I don't know, because I've never been in this situation, because, I've just never been in this situation. But I'm also, in my mindset, I'm like, well, this person raised you their whole life. Is that not enough? And I know it's not. For most people, it's not. Because you have to go, and I hear a lot of stories about people going off and looking for their parents, finding out they're deadbeats, actually. Or they just didn't know that they existed. Like, this guy might not even know. Maybe they were separated. But how are you going to find that out? Maybe you can reach out to the brother or the sister. But
you know what they're going to do? They're going to run to their dad.
They're going to run to their dad, and then...
This girl's claiming that she's my half-sister. That's what's going to happen.
But we do know that he is the dad because...
Yes.
She has siblings on this... On whatever, 23andMe or whatever. So he is the dad. But what if they were separated when this all happened? I don't know. I think I just have a hot take there.
From experience watching kids grow up without their dads and being raised by a single mom, it absolutely destroys so much of your identity, so much of your self-esteem, your ability to handle being loved and accept all these. It ruins a lot.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing if they're raised by a single dad and the mom's not in the picture. It automatically, there's damage that happens. Most of it can be fixed over time, but it's very, very, very hard.
Yeah. I was going to say, is it ever fixed, really?
No. Yeah. It never goes away. It can improve, but you're stuck with it your whole life. So I get it. I understand wanting to find out. I personally think if she should be talking to anyone, it's her mom. She should just say, listen,
The mom is so
I've
shut
told
tight
you
about
for
it.
years I want to know who my dad is.
Why is she not telling her who the fuck the dad
She's
is?
doing something. Michelle is up to something. That's all I know. She is doing something. Maybe she's doing something illegal. Maybe.
Edit. Edit.
I know exactly what happened. No. I know exactly what happened.
Okay.
I know what happened.
Riff it before I get to the update.
Michelle's not her real mother. Michelle kidnapped her.
Oh.
From her father.
It could happen.
Who I'm naming Robert. Michelle kidnapped her from Robert, which is why she keeps coming up with 97 different scenarios, and she's like, oh, you don't need your dad. I'm not enough. This sounds like Mother Gothel off of Tangled.
Comment. The fact your mom worked so hard to keep this from you tells me she knew very well he was married. OP says, I don't know why I never thought of that, but that makes so much sense.
Damn.
Edit. Since I've gotten the comment a lot, yes, I do know he may get and has gotten a notification about me matching to him. I use Ancestry DNA, and they just send out an email for alerts unless you have the app.
I didn't think about that.
So I, of course, don't know if he has seen it, but yes, he should have been notified. Jasmyn. There's an update.
Robert's life is about to get rocked.
There's an update.
Oh! Was I right? Is this a Mother Gothel situation?
Hey everyone, it's been a bit since I posted the original, but it took me a while to build up the courage to actually say anything to anyone about the DNA results. I still haven't told my mom about it. She knows I took the test, but not that I have any significant matches like a half-brother. I'm not sure if when I tell her honestly. Our relationship has always been an odd one, and I still have a bit of fear when it comes to making her upset.
Because it's Mother Gothel.
Anywho, down to the anticlimactic part. I messaged my brother. The man I believe to be my father didn't have messaging on Facebook, so by default, I had one option left. It took several days. No, the brother.
Oh. I thought we were somewhere else with that. Sorry.
It took several days for him to reply enough that I had started to assume I just wouldn't hear anything, which is fine but also sucks. He finally replied though, and I wasn't expecting the answer I got to say. He told me that he wasn't surprised to hear that he had another sibling. As far as he knew, I was one of 5, all with different mothers.
So Robert was a hoe bag!
He also told me his name is Brian. Definitely not Brad, but you know, close enough. He also told me my father died 2 years ago. Oh, he's dead. I really don't know.
Not only did she find out that her dad was a cheating hoe bag.
He's also dead.
He's also dead now?
I really don't know how to describe how I'm feeling, but it's a lot, honestly. I was so set on the idea that my brother's stepdad was my father, and maybe I could go meet him and maybe have a connection. But then I was also scared and just didn't know what result I wanted from this whole thing. I know not a great ending to the story, but I wanted to give some closure to anyone who comes upon it. That's really sad.
That rocked me to the core.
I know.
Damn.
That's very personal for you.
Oh. Oh.
Do you need a second?
Oh. I really thought it was Robert.
It's Brian.
It's Brian.
That rocked me to my core. It's Brian.
Freaking Brian. I'm still mad at Michelle. Michelle deserves no happiness in her life.
I'm surprised that she didn't catch up with him and find out that he's dead and then tell her, hey, your dad's dead. You know? Because sometimes...
Do you think... I think I've seen too many movies.
Too many Disney.
I think I've seen too many movies.
Too much
I'm
Disney.
sitting here and I'm like, OMG, what if Brian was her drug dealer? And Michelle is actually on drugs, and she can't remember who the dad is because she's been on drugs. And what if that's why Brian died?
Drug overdose. You really had to make it that personal.
Or Hilmy got robbed. Oh my gosh, I'm guffawed.
That was a good one, actually. You were very insightful for that. I had a hot take, and I didn't know much about it. So
listen, girl, we're not gonna go that in depth about it because we don't need to cry on this couch right now. But dang,
sorry, I didn't expect it to be like that. I just read the one about being on a fair. I was like, oh, that's so funny. Like,
I really thought it was Robert.
It could have been a Robert.
I felt it in my soul.
It was
his
straight
name was
Brian.
Brian.
Come on, Brian.
Brian.
Well, how'd you like those stories on my podcast? You like the new setup?
I do!
It's kind of cute, huh?
It's very cute.
Thanks.
Very cute.
I'm so glad you're on my podcast. I posted about you yesterday. Also, our podcast video hit 100 views. You and I.
We're crushing it. Alright. Before we hang up on this delicious call, we have to recreate all of those sounds.
Okay. Guys, thank you for listening.
No, they have to hear it too.
Yeah, well, they can. It'll be at the end. Thank you guys for listening. If you're still listening, we're gonna redo all the sounds on my soundboard. But if you're not, thank you guys for listening. Come back. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and Spotify, and we'll see you next week.
Wait a minute. Not listening's not an option. If you've made it this far, you're on the team. You don't leave till the routine is clean.
You ready? Are we only doing this with mouths?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Okay. There's several parts to that. Woo! Woo! Second part. That was the clapping sound.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. 10 out of 10?
Okay, my turn.
10 out of 10. No, I gotta push it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
push it.
pull your daughter. I do myself, Mommy. Begin.
Woo, 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 woo! Part 2.
Oh! Oh!
Sorry. Let me try again. Wait, let me try again.
Wait! Who's throwing stuff?
Let me try again.
Okay.
What is happening? Okay, ready? Close your eyes.
Okay.
This is part 2. Oh, no.
I can do it better.
Oh, okay.
Crushed it.
Press it for me, please.
Why are you putting an L in there? Put your tongue away.
Mine sounded more like it than
Put
yours.
your tongue away.
Oh, it
Get
didn't.
that spot. That's great. That's perfect.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. I do it myself.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nice.
Thank you. All right, ready? Oh.
Got a prayer. Our special guest. Say hi.
Hi.
Mwah!
Nice. Alright.
That's really good.
Boom. Alright, and the beginning started so strong. I was like, she got in the back. The rest just went downhill. Oh, it just kind of got worse.
You ready?
Yeah.
You got this one. You got this one in the bag.
What? Crushed it. Oh, you want me to do the echo?
Yeah, do the echo.
Oh, sorry. What?
Perfect.
Thank you. Your turn.
What? Dot, 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 dot.
Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot.
Be nicer to me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm killing this.
Your turn. They're even laughing at you. Sorry.
That didn't sound like it at all.
Yes, it did. Let me hear it again. Winnie the Pooh.
Why does no sound come out of my mouth when I move it? Okay, this one's my favorite.
That was really good! Wow! I thought you just pushed the button again!
Thank you.
Awesome!
Awesome!
I got it.
Awesome!
Awesome!
Why did your M last for 2 minutes? Awesome!
God, they're not tuned in. Okay, last one.
Ding, ding, ding!
Ooh, that was really good.
I felt it in my soul.
Ding, ding, ding! Ding, ding, ding! Was that okay?
I need it one more time.
Ding, ding, ding! What?
What?
It sounds just like
It's
it sounds
so... Wait, do it again.
ding, ding, ding! Ding, ding, ding! It sounds just like it. Be nicer to me.
I know, buddy. That was really...
Awesome!
I'm really proud of you.
Jasmyn, you make me wanna.
I thought you were gonna do that.
Oh, just this. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Have a good night. Oh. Have a good night. We'll see you out.
Oh, it did it again.